Hi, I'm Jerry Springer, and I'm standing in a nightclub that people insist has been haunted for years. Today we'll meet those people who say they've been terrorized by demons, spirits, devils, and ghosts. The owner's wife was carried across a room and thrown down a flight of stairs by a ghost. The caretaker claims the spirits lived in his body until the night he experienced a violent exorcism. Do you believe in ghosts? If you don't, you just might change your mind after today's show. A few years back, country music singer Bobby Mackey bought himself his very own honky-tonk saloon. While preparing for the grand opening, his pregnant wife, Janet, had her first run-in with a ghost. Janet, describe what happened to you.
Well, Jerry, I was upstairs and just checking around, making sure everything was, getting prepared to open. And something grabbed me around the waist. And it was so much pressure and force that I could not get loose. So I was picked up and carried almost to the door to where you go down the stairs and dropped on the floor. And then I got loose from it somehow and went on to the top of the steps and fell down again.
Were you screaming out?
Well, I was trying to scream out, and I couldn't.
Did you turn around and look who's carrying you?
Right. I turned around. There was nothing there, but still the force was there, the pressure and everything.
What time of the day was this?
This was like sometime in around noon or so, midday.
Just to clear the record, you had not been drinking anything?
No. I was pregnant.
You were pregnant?
I was pregnant.
Is it possible you felt baby pain, baby moving?
No.
You were literally picked up off the ground?
I was literally picked up.
You were thrown down the steps?
Right. Well, I was like pushed by something down the steps. I fell to the bottom. I was on my knees. I looked up, and there was a voice saying, "Get out, get out."
Were you screaming, crying?
And I was trying to scream.
You couldn't get anything?
I could not get nothing out, no.
Bobby, she's your wife. Are you buying this? Are you buying this?
No. First of all, I don't believe in ghosts at all. And we've been there for 13 years.
But that's not true.
Well,
that's not true.
It is true.
No. Believe me, Jerry,
we've been there for 13 years, and I have never seen anything or experienced anything. Why doesn't it show itself to me?
If he was pushed down the steps, then he would believe.
She's your wife.
No.
You're not believing her? You think she's making this up? She's lying?
She had been hearing these stories. She didn't like the place
I don't
anyway.
care.
She was terrified of the place already.
If he was the one pushed him down the steps and had all the trouble I had, then you would understand my side.
She had been hearing these stories, and
there.
I think the power of suggestion, I think she was looking for things like that.
That's not true.
So you think, are you saying she's lying?
No, I'm not saying she's lying.
Well,
I think she believes it happened.
Because you don't believe.
She believes it happened.
Okay, all right.
So,
she does believe it happened, but
it did happen. I don't believe it happened.
Well, how do you explain Janet's fall?
I don't know. I just don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe there's such a thing.
Well, there was something there to grab me.
Did you wind up in the? Did you wind up? What happened to the baby?
Well,
I went into labor at the incidents when I fell down the steps.
Yeah.
Pushed down the steps, and I got to the bottom.
Well, it was later. It was more the next morning.
About 8:30 that next morning, I had my daughter. The very next morning at 8:30. After I was pushed down the steps.
She weighed 1 pound and 15 ounces.
And she weighed 1 pound 15 ounces.
It was a premature birth.
Yes.
Premature. She was 3 months early.
Bobby, doesn't that make you believe? I mean, why would she make up a story about being thrown down the steps with her own baby? I mean, making up a story is one thing, but with your own baby.
I just don't believe that a ghost had anything to do with it.
Well, I do, and I believe that me being, her being premature has a lot to do with it.
Do you get any worries about being in your club, Bobby?
No.
Do you go there alone at night?
Well, not unless I have to.
No, he doesn't, Jerry. No, he doesn't, Jerry. But believe me, he doesn't. He will not.
Okay.
But not because of any ghosts. I mean, this place is a big place.
There's a reason.
It's cold and airy, and it has a weird feeling about it. But no ghost has ever jumped out at me.
Well, something's jumped out at you. One time you went down there to check on a machine, and you come home real fast. And you wanted somebody to go in with you.
I think
that?
I heard something in the basement sound like an animal, but that's just what it sounded like.
It was upstairs. It was upstairs.
You had told us before,
It was
Janet.
in the basement.
Janet, you told us before that a ghost once tried to kill you with a ladder.
Right, that's another thing. I didn't do a lot of hard labor, but I did mostly get things together to where, you know, the club could be opened. Because
Ladders
like
have
I
been
say,
known to
I
fall.
was afraid.
Ladders-
Oh, yes.
ladders have been
He
known to
doesn't
fall.
know, Jerry. He wasn't with me. He's too afraid to go in with me. So therefore, the caretaker
Do you go
had to be
in?
with
Do you go in with her?
Oh, yes.
No,
that's
you
right.
don't. Not very. When we're open.
I'm
for
not
business.
afraid to go in there.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I like it
anyway,
late
the
at night.
ladder-
Late at night.
First, I just want to
Nobody
thank.
around.
I just want to welcome
The ladder.
everybody to the newlywed game.
Right. As far as the ladder goes, if I had...
Yeah, if I thought the place was dangerous, I certainly wouldn't have let my pregnant wife go in there.
But the reason...
But she's not the only one telling you stories about this
Right.
place, is she?
Well, no, but I think maybe she had been influenced by what she'd been hearing.
Don't believe that. I'm not influenced that easily. I mean, when something picks you up and throws you down some stairs, then you're not influenced.
Why have I
Let's try
not
this.
ever
Let's
seen
try
a
this.
ghost? I just don't believe
Okay,
it.
let me try this. Let me
As far
try
as
this.
the ladder goes, the ladder almost fell on me.
Have there been other
Not news.
examples? Have there been other examples outside of this club where strange things have happened to you?
No. No.
In other words,
and
we're
that's
not
why I
developing a
want the club.
pattern
I
here
didn't
where she
want the
makes
club.
up these stories where, in other words, everything you're telling us
But
is...
she didn't want the place anyway.
Right, and that was the reason, because we drove by that place many, many times.
Well, tell me the ladder story.
Debated.
Tell me the ladder story.
The ladder story?
Yeah.
Okay, I was on the dance floor, sweeping off the lid a little bit, and I heard the same voices I heard upstairs. Get out, get out. It was like somebody had their voice operator on Larynx box or
Yes.
something. And it just the same thing. And I thought, oh no, here I go again. I'll never get out of this place. Walked into the casino room. The ladder was against the wall. It started shaking, vibrating, walking sort of like walking toward me. And when it got to almost to me, I just knew it was going to fall on me. And when it did that, the caretaker, which was nowhere around at the time, all of a sudden jerked me up from underneath the ladder, or it would have fell on my stomach, and I would have had my child. Now, you tell me there is not a ghost in there.
Were the
Believe
doors, were
me.
the doors open?
No, there wasn't no doors open.
Couldn't have been the wind, huh?
Could have been.
Could not have been the wind.
No.
There was no.
Okay.
No, it sure could not have been no wind. It was certainly a ghost.
Have you ever witnessed a real exorcism? Well, you will after this break, and you'll hear from the man who was possessed by these ghostly spirits.